And surprisingly, the lawyers in Umo Eno's camp said they did not get any brief. They did not even know about the matter. They just wake up in the morning and read it on social media that the court, that the what publishing the judgment that removed Pastor Umo Eno, they are publishing that the summon that they actually brought before the court, which was not even signed. And this leaves us that fear that court is now being used as a pronouncement that will affect you. So Ike is not being saved the notice. Then the next thing Ike just receives is that the court has ordered that Ike be killed. For instance, that is not the way it should be done. I do not know. I mean, as a journalist, I have followed the procedure of court, and I know that court operates in an open agent that can be, used by politicians who go for window shopping to, use the court to want to either embarrass the candidate of any party, or also come or use the court to twist democracy. This is not fair for us as Democrats, not fair for us as human rights.
It was given virtually.
Uh-huh.
And when I heard virtually, I'm like, okay, fine. In this world of technology, the other party should have been told, let there be a virtual sit-in.
Like, there is the principle in Latin, or the altera pattern. You cannot, you cannot decide a matter against Ike without Ike being given fair hearing. The right of fair hearing. Ike should be given the right to state the side of the story. Was Pastor Umo Eno given the right, given the opportunity, being saved the notice to also appear? I'm not holding brief. Yeah, I'm speaking as someone who believe that we should allow the right of fair hearing and the natural justice to prevail, to play in everything we want to do. Even the court shouldn't have. Maybe the court must have been misled or led to assume that the party has been saved. But there should have been evidence, I don't know, that the party has either been saved and he has refused to appear. When these evidence are not there, then it becomes leave more to be desired. So I think that there is need for judges not to be used. We had one justice now Egbo of Enugu Federal High Court who sat in Enugu and removed the governor of Anambra State, then Governor Ngige. And Ngige was removed by the court. So you can have a judge sit in Sokoto and remove a governor of Cross River State or Akwa Ibom State or River State. I mean, there should be the court system should be. I know that you have one jurisdiction when it comes to the Federal High Court. Just only one Federal High Court you have. You could have the Federal High Court sitting in Enyong because they have the same jurisdiction. But the truth is that the court should be made such that if one is being sued, he is being given opportunity to sit the other side of the suit so that he cannot make the fair, balanced judgment that will reflect the true place of things. But when you now give judgment that the other party wasn't really saved, he didn't make his own, appearance before the court, and then it is one of. Let me give you a story. My late dad, I'm going to give you a clear story that will paint the picture. My late dad in River State never had an inkling of someone who was granted bail. Someone who was in police custody, who had a matter in court, needed someone to grant to secure him for bail. And then my late dad never knew that this man, had a matter even in the court. Surprisingly, one day we are in the house in the afternoon, police came from the court, pick up my late dad, whisked him off, took him to the police, and from police to the magistrate court in Elimbu, Port Harcourt. We are all surprised. And then the next thing, the court ordered that my late dad be remanded in the prison custody, as it then was. And we're like, what happened? They now said that he came and shot someone's bail in the court and the person has escaped. And my dad was like, how, when? That is it. Then it was when we now got a lawyer to put up a brief and then begin to follow up the case. We now got to know that somebody, never. My dad was never mentioned in the case, and somebody never at all mentioned my dad's name as a shorty. But because my dad is from the same community with the person, they feel that if you pick him, he can lead you to the person that escaped. Now what happened? My dad we now made the case. The lawyer now, my dad now appeared before the judge, before the magistrate in court. She was a lady. When she looked at my letter, she said, ah, was this man brought before me in this court? The court clerk said no. He said, how did I order his remand without seeing him? He said he was kept outside the court. He was seated outside the court, the bench outside the court. And then they told the court that the person is here. Then the court now granted that you order the person be detained in prison custody. So most times the court could be misled into acting in error. Like I have just given you a picture, and by then my late dad served like 1 week before he was released because the magistrate was so angry that this man never appeared before me, never even took his brief or took his pleading. How come did I order his remand? He ordered that he be released, his case against him be struck out. So what I'm saying here is court should not be used as an avenue to truncate democracy. You have a case against Franklin Lesong. Franklin Lesong should be saved with notice of the case so that I can be able to make my own defense. A case against Pastor Umo Eno, against anybody for that matter, the person should be saved. Let the court order that the parties be saved. And when they are saved, they appear before the parties and make their cases. Then the court can now be guided to make a stand that will be fair to all, in line with the principle of rule of law and natural justice.
Okay, let's wait. At least in the coming days, we'll know how this whole thing will play out. Because of course, I believe Babantan's camp also know the legal implication of this, and he's educated enough to know what this action will spiral into. Of course, there's also another issue from the APC camp, which
yes, it looks like the parties are really having crazy action this period.